Hello Internet, this is Whispering Whim, bringing you another grocery haul today, and I don't have a big long introduction, no major things to discuss just yet, so let's go ahead and jump right in. First up, let's get this big old bottle out of the way. This is distilled vinegar. Not only am I using it for cooking, of course, but also cleaning I've been starting to do a lot more all natural cleaning, my own cleaning products, and vinegar is in like at least half of the recipes that I run across. Following that, we've got, let's see here, some apple juice. I've been on a big juice kick. You may recall that for a long time I was doing a very low carb diet, and then I got braces, and then after I got braces I had to get a tooth pulled. And all the things that I was allowed to eat were like mashed potatoes and pudding and oatmeal and applesauce, which aren't inherently bad things, but they weren't low carb. So I'm gonna try to just count calories instead for a little while until I, get used to the mouth situation. Hopefully that'll work. Stay in there, you stay. One of my cans was trying to roll away. But so far, counting calories does not work for me as well as doing low carb does. So I gotta get a lot more strict with myself, especially because now it's like getting really close to my wedding. It's in October, so gotta get on track. But anyways, definitely not a diet food in any way, shape, or form. Some apple fruit pies. These are for my guys' lunches. Although I should have there was apple and there was cherry. And I like apple better, so I picked them up. But now I'm looking at them and I want to eat them. So I probably should have picked the cherry so that I'd be less tempted. Following that, I've got 2 little bags of crinkle cut, kettle cook, whatever, potato chips. They've changed the packaging, but this is still the same one that my guy favors. It's the Kettle brand, salt and fresh ground pepper. So I just got 2 of those. We have a lot of chips and stuff left over from last month. I kind of went a little crazy because I bought like 3 boxes of Triscuits and like a giant bag of pita chips, and so I tried to go a little lighter, and then I couldn't help myself. Like you can see right here, not quite a chip, but kind of falls into the same snacking category. It's a big old bag of popcorn. Now I really should just make my popcorn. I love stovetop popcorn, but I always make the lunches late at night, and I don't want to cook a fresh batch of popcorn. But I should get in the habit of doing that again. Mental note for the future. Next up, we have some tortilla shells for our ever classic tacos, right? That seems to be a staple. I'd probably cook it at least once a month, it feels like. But you can't go wrong with tacos. And then we have some croutons for salads. They're a little hard for me to eat, so I thought about not getting the croutons. They're just so crunchy. But my guy isn't a big salad guy, but he does love texture if he's going to have a salad, so I'll probably still stick 1 or 2 in mine, but most of them in his, so that he'll eat more salads with me. Like we always eat some sort of vegetable with dinner, but now that it's hot out there, I kind of want to, whatchamacallit, get rid of some of the like roasted vegetables, not get rid of them, but make them less often and swap out for salads so the oven isn't on all the time. But next up we have some coconut milk. I was going to do some Thai dishes and I picked these up and then I changed my mind. We'll see later on. I found a pre-made peanut sauce that I'm going to try out instead of making my own sauce, but can't go wrong with having coconut milk in stock. I still have, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I have some, what is it, Thai iced tea leaves? Yeah, Thai iced tea. So I could actually make up a whole thing of tea and add coconut milk to it. That'd be pretty tasty, actually. Technically, official Thai iced teas like that you find in the restaurants, they don't have coconut milk in them, even though they taste like it to me. It's sweetened condensed milk that they use in those, which is kind of interesting. And you'll have to let me know if I'm talking too fast today. I feel like I am, but I'm not sure. I have a billion things going on, which that might be as good of a time as any to say that I will try really hard to do next month's grocery haul, but next month is busy, 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 busy. I've got 3 shows for arts and crafts, and I have a camping trip, and then my fiance, his grandmother passed away this past week, so I've got a funeral to go to too. So I'm gonna have a busy month next month. We'll see. I'll still try to do the video though. But back on to the task at hand. I've got some white navy beans, low sodium, and then here are the rice noodles for, I'm going to do peanut chicken, but I'm going to do it with that pre-made sauce that's hanging around somewhere. And we'll see how the pre-made sauce tastes. A lot of the ones that are like jarred or canned are just not as good as making them yourself. And I have made Thai, like a peanut sauce before, but to really get a very authentic flavor, you have to put in fish sauce, which is just the most pungent, weird substance in the world because you smell it and you're like, why am I adding this as an ingredient, right? And in fact, I've tried to make it without the fish sauce because it's like, why would I put something in this foul? But it makes the difference, and you only put in a few drops. But it just alters the flavor, you know, once you dilute it, it's tasty. But then you have a jar of fish sauce hanging around in your fridge. And the last time I was on a Thai food kick, I was making my own sauce. I had fish sauce in the fridge. And then for whatever reason, I don't know if it was me that did it or my fiance, but one of us knocked over the fish sauce bottle in the fridge and the cap was just slightly off. So when I went to open up the fridge again later on, there was just stinky, smelly, it's like, I can't remember if it's sticky or oily. I kind of feel like it was both. But it clings to everything. And the smell, oh my goodness. So I kind of got scared off of making my own Thai food or anything with fish sauce anyways. And I haven't done it ever since that incident. So, but I don't know. Kind of craving new things. So anyways, what I've got here is a good old-fashioned loaf of bread. Since I've been gravitating towards softer foods and I'm letting myself eat carbohydrates and wheat and everything again, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches have been like my favorite thing in the world. I think it's just because I've been denying myself anything like that. Because it's, you know, it's bread, it's sugar, it's just very calorie dense. But they're so tasty. I kind of needed that bit of nostalgia factor, I think. So, and then finishing off that bag was just some bananas. They're a little green still, but they looked pretty healthy. So, I'm optimistic that they'll make a tasty smoothie for me later on. Because smoothies are another thing I've readopted now that I've allowed the joy of sugar back into my life, which might be why the calorie counting hasn't been working so well. Oh man. But slightly healthier. We've got some V8, just the little cans. I find that I don't tend to finish the big cans, but it feels wasteful to get these tiny ones, but well, it'll be alright. And before I forget to mention, we've got some green apples hanging out over here and a big old watermelon. I'm excited to crack into that guy. Next, we've got some cinnamon applesauce. That's for me and my healing teeth here. And then we've got one little can of French-style green beans. I think I had mentioned that my guy had been just over green beans, but they're soft, they're easy to chew, so I've been eating them myself. And while I was looking at the thing, I have at least one can already. This is from a big Sam's Club box of green beans that I had. But I was looking at the French style ones and I was like, do I remember if that makes a difference? And I realized that I don't know. I don't think it does. It's just that they've been cut. I don't know. So I'm going to just kind of do like a comparison. One day get the French style ones and one day eat the regular cut ones and see if I have a preference. I don't think I do, but we'll find out. Following that, got some colorful goldfish for my guys' lunches. You know me, I prefer color or frou-frou or childish food stuff if I can. So he gets the colorful ones. And then this is a bag of cranberries from the bin section. I'm so glad that they've reintroduced the bin section at Winco. I get a lot of things in there. And these are for salads. I usually make like a sweet and spicy salad. I have, where is it? So I have this Bergman orange white balsamic vinegar and this habanero extra virgin olive oil. So if you use these as like a, you know, oil vinaigrette, it makes a very potent, like spicy and sweet and aromatic kind of a dressing. It's almost too much. I think I won't do all of the oil as habanero oil next time. It was a little much for me. My guy loved it though. He loves spice. Well, he loved it as much as he can love a salad dressing anyways. Because, again, not a big salad guy. But anyways, that was a fun DIY dressing that I had done recently. And then next up, we have teriyaki sauce. This is the garlic and green onion one. And I added, what did I add? I added some ghost peppers. Just a tiny, like, you know, barely a pinch of ghost pepper. The little bit goes a long way. So it became sort of a sweet and spicy again combination. That seems to be where we're headed right now. And my guy went gaga over it. Like, he was willing to eat it twice in like a 7-day period, which he hates repetition like that. He likes comfort food, but he doesn't want to eat it too close together. He So weird. I love that guy though. It's a good thing too, since I'm gonna marry him. Right? Oh man. For my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I've got a little jar of fruit and honey. I have the Just Fruit spread from Smucker's also in there. And I really enjoy that because it doesn't have the artificial sweetener and it also doesn't have added sugar. Now it's naturally sweet from, the fruit that they put in there, but it's not like taken to the next level. And it's, oh my gosh, I'm telling you guys, I've eaten so many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches since I got this tooth pulled. It's been silly. Anyways, moving on, we have the bubble fruit. Now, you guys may remember that it was like, goodness, it was a couple of months ago now, that Sam's Club had gotten bubble fruit before I had seen it in the grocery stores. But now it's worked its way into regular grocery stores, and they have a new flavor, or at least a flavor I have not tried yet. And this is a sour apple and watermelon flavor. Now I'm wondering if this will suffer from the same problem that the first one did, in that the flavors kind of melded too much and nothing tasted different. But that'd be really cool if it was like a sweet juice in here and the little bubbles were sour, or even vice versa. So we'll see. It's a fun little thing. My guy actually prefers just a regular old apple to fruit cups, but variety is the spice of life, right? This is the bag that just keeps on giving. I keep lifting it up thinking I'm all done with it, but I'm not. Okay, so next up, we have Thai-style peanut sauce. So this is the one that I'm going to try for my, basically, peanut chicken. Not really pad thai, because you need a lot more ingredients for that. But we'll serve it with rice noodles and probably do some garlic butter, sugar peas, or snap peas rather. And it should be a pretty entertaining meal. Or at least a good experiment, right? And finally, finishing off that bag is a good old clove of garlic. We eat a lot of garlic. I saw the elephant garlic in the store, and I've never worked with it. I know it's got a slightly different flavor to it, and I almost picked it up. And now I kind of wish I had, but I chickened out and I just got the one that I know exactly how it works and how it tastes. And I have switched back to cutting fresh garlic. For a little while, I was getting those like pre-peeled ones, which were nice. They were convenient, but you had to use like 2, sometimes 3 times the amount of garlic, because whatever process, washing them and getting the peel off and then sealing them up in a plastic bag for like a month, because those things were good for a long time. Just took down the flavor too much. So I might switch back, I don't know, but for now, fresh is the way to go for me. Next up, we've got our big stuff. Everything that's immediately in front of me is from Sam's Club. And for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with it, it's basically just a membership warehouse type grocery store. So not really exclusively grocery stores. Costco is a really well-known version of the same thing. So it's just stuff in bigger quantities. Usually it's cheaper. Not always, but usually. But you have to get a lot. So, case in point, this is 8 cans of tomato. But I've been using a lot of tomato lately. Pepper Steak usually takes a can of it. And the cauliflower casserole thing takes a can of it, and just all around I've been using a lot more tomatoes, so got me a big old box of them. This will probably last us a good while though. And then hiding behind the bags is some good old TP, right? It's always funny to get a big old thing like this. For one thing, we do live in a one-bedroom apartment, so it's kind of hard to store a guy this size. But also, after that toilet paper shortage of early 2000s to 2020, 2000s. Anyways, I don't know, it always makes me feel like a hoarder, even though we buy one and we use it all. I don't know. One of those weird little ways that I will be forever changed, right? Anyways, we've got some nice crinkles coming up here. Dun-dun-dun. I swore that I wasn't going to go too crazy on chips, but I had to pick these up. It's a limited time flavor, and it is cheesy garlic bread. Cheesy garlic bread. I had to find out what that tasted like, because I love garlic bread, and it's an excuse to get the not kettle cooked potato chips. The kettle cooked ones are too crunchy for me, so I like regular old Lay's. And my guy will eat regular Lay's, but I feel like fun flavor is a better excuse than just, hey, eat the one you think you don't like as much. And then we've got some s'mores snacks mix here. This stuff is really tasty. I've only ever seen it at Sam's Club, at least in person. I have never tried to Google it. I'm sure you could find it online, but it's like a good quality chocolate. It's closer to a European chocolate than an American chocolate. It doesn't have a lot of wax in it. And just everything is tasty. It's super tasty. So hopefully most of that will go into my guys' lunches and not my belly. But we'll see. I make no promises. Next up, we've got some oatmeal. This is a high protein oatmeal, actually. And if you recall, last month I had picked up 2 little containers, swearing up and down that I would not buy a big old pack of oatmeal. But one of the ones that I had picked up was this brand. And for a high protein sort of health food kind of oatmeal, I liked it a lot. It doesn't have any artificial sweetener in it, which is so hard to come by. And when I say artificial, I mean anything that's not sugar. I don't like stevia or, what's another popular one? Monk fruit. Oh, I hate monk fruit. So if I'm going to have something that's sweet, it might as well just have sugar in it. That's a whole rant that I should stop now. But anyways, this stuff was actually pretty decent. So I think I will attempt to go through a whole box of it. And since it's nice and squishy and edible for me, I think I hopefully will eat it all. Oatmeal's one of those things. I always want oatmeal until it comes time to cook it. And then I'm like, oh, it's too hot, or I'm too tired, or something. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. And then we've got, moving along here, some instant coffee. This is a different kind of container. They used to have it in the little packets. I think I still have some. They're buried. I'm not going to take them out. But Starbucks had the little tubes. Nice and convenient, but kind of wasteful, really, because you could only get like 8 little tubes at one time, and then you had to throw away all that garbage. So this is good. And the reason why I'm even picking up instant coffee is that we will be going camping, right? And on top of that, I will be having some shows that are slightly out of town, so I'll be staying at a hotel. And they never provide enough coffee. There's always a coffee maker with like 1 serving of coffee. I guess that's what normal people need, but I drink more than that. So this should be definitely more than enough to get us through the summer, because it says each can makes up to 40 cups of coffee. So that's a lot of coffee. And then finishing off this particular bag here, I bet you can tell by the sound, even if you're not watching on video, is a big old thing of rice. I just can't seem to get away from the rice. Funny story though, I just use minute rice. I don't know, I've always had issues cooking rice on the stovetop. And people swear up and down, as long as you get the water right, it's fine. But then there's like, some people are like, bring it to a boil, pour the rice in and let it sit. Some people are like, simmer it. And I don't know. I don't have luck. So anyways, I make minute rice, and I'm not ashamed to say it. My sister, however, apparently has become a bit of a snob when it comes to rice. They have a rice maker, so it's pretty easy for them to make rice anyways. So while I was up there, I picked up a tiny box of minute rice so that I could make a dinner for them, and they just kind of like politely ate it, and then later on kind of hinted that they have rice and I didn't have to buy rice. And anyways, so I did put a rice maker on my wedding registry though, so we'll see. Maybe I'll switch to the good stuff when I have a rice maker. And then this next bag is pretty much all frivolous stuff. I didn't intend it that way, other than I just didn't want food that could be affected by smell next to this guy. And this is that, I love the smell of it, the In-Wash Scent Booster Original Scent. I tried to stop using this stuff for like a whole 2 weeks. I bought my detergent with, the scent already in it, and it's not the same. It doesn't make it as smelly. I want it to be smelly. So I broke down and got another one of these with the understanding that it is kind of bad chemicals, but I like it. And then we've got some Jose Cuervo Margarita mix, but this is the golden margarita that has Grand Marnier in it, or Grand Marinier, as some people know it by, which is basically just an orange liqueur. So it's, a margarita is typically lime, and this just adds a bit more mellowness to it, I think, because lime is such a sharp flavor. I had gotten one of these, just one, for Cinco de Mayo, and I brought it over. I was making dinner, but usually with my fiance and his sisters, it's kind of understood that people bring their own drinks, but they didn't. And I ended up having to share, and I was super sad. Because I'm a bit of a glutton when it comes to my liquor. So when I saw this at Sam's Club, because the first one I bought, the Cinco de Mayo one, it was, like $21, $22 for a bottle. And that's because I was at the little local grocery store, which is more expensive for everything. But at Sam's Club, this is like $15, so that's a bit more reasonable. And I should have picked up more, but I'll be going to Sam's Club again before camping, and that's why I think I need more is for camping, so that's still a little ways away. And then also alcoholic, Jello shots. They legit had Jello shots at Sam's Club, and I could not get them. I guess all the single-use plastic is probably a bad thing, but again, I'm gonna test them out ahead of time, but I'm thinking more about like camping and stuff. Single serve Jello shots would be fantastic. I don't know how the flavors will be. We'll find out, but I'm kind of excited. I like I don't know. I guess I just like booze. I keep trying to make it all like, you know, downgrade it, like, oh, I'm a connoisseur or something, but I like fancy booze, and I like mid-price, and sometimes I'll drink cheap stuff too. So I guess the moral of the story is I'm not that picky. But luckily I get plenty of opportunities to prove that I'm not addicted. Like when I got my tooth pulled, went on antibiotics, so I couldn't drink. And I've been not drinking, so that's fine. Anyways, let's move on. Now we're finally on to our cooler stuff here. First up, we'll go ahead and get these big guys out of the way. This is the Sam's Club size baby carrots. And these are, it's like $4. And it's a 3-pound bag of baby carrots. And oddly enough, we do go through all of them. Sometimes I have to buy like another small package before the end of the month. And then, this is super crinkly. Oh my goodness. Nice and slow. We have a 6-pack of bell pepper. I think I'll be doing some stuffed bell pepper, and then some pepper steak, and then I should have picked up one red, because I like to make red bell pepper hummus, but that'll have to be later, because I don't think green would translate quite as well. But at any rate, there'll be plenty of uses for this guy. Next up, we've got some Jello Temptations, strawberry cheesecake flavored. Sounds decadent, huh? I've got some Greek yogurt. This will be for my smoothie making. And this one was nicely balanced. I find that a lot of yogurts like to be extreme in one way or another, like zero fat yogurt doesn't really make sense. You're kind of supposed to make yogurt from like at least some cream, in my opinion. So this one's balanced. It's got 6 grams of fat, 18 grams of carbohydrate, and then 8 grams of protein. So hopefully it tastes good. I don't recall trying this brand before, but it met my nutritional requirements at least. Some orange juice. Definitely been on a juice kick lately. We have some kielbasa and some lemons. These are going to be mostly used for making some hummus. Even if I don't make the red bell pepper one, I can still make like garlic hummus or basil hummus. I've got lots of hummus options. That's the benefit of making lots of things yourself. You start acquiring ingredients that you can use elsewhere. And then next up, we have some pepper bacon, just one little pack. My my guy, his birthday is around Memorial Day. And his work likes to give everybody their birthday off. But it has to be near the day off they get has to be as close to their birthday as possible. Well, he already got Monday off automatically for Memorial Day, which would have been the closest work day. So he got Friday off as well. So he suddenly had this like 4-day birthday weekend. And me, being who I am, I made him bacon every morning. So we just kind of used it up a bit. And at any rate, so I had already bought like another big package of bacon on a not grocery haul trip. Because I do a little bit of grocery shopping in between videos, but they're always so small that they're not really worth all the effort of getting the camera ready and my face ready. And I couldn't. I know you guys enjoy extra videos, but I just can't. Here we have some jalapenos, and I only got 3. And that's because my little jalapeno plant has borne fruit, and I expect to be able to start picking them like maybe by the end of next week. So I'm going to be able to use my own jalapenos in my recipes. Hopefully they taste good. That poor plant has been through a lot. Like, he was super happy and making little jalapeno babies, right? And then he got soil gnats. And soil gnats aren't too terrible. If they get too many of them, they might start attacking the roots. But they don't typically eat the plant. They just like the moist soil. So I didn't do anything about it because I really try to live by the whole live and let live kind of a philosophy. I don't, like, if there's a spider in the house, I won't touch it. Or if it's in a really bad place, I'll like try to capture it and put it outside, which is saying something because they still kind of terrify me. So it's always a big theatrical show when I'm trying to catch a spider. But so anyways, I didn't attempt to kill the soil gnats, just tried to do some better watering practices. And he got spider mites as well, and those do eat the leaves. So poor guy's been through a lot. He seems to be doing all right though. There's like, I want to say there's now 20 fruits on him. Jalapeno technically is a fruit, not a vegetable, which always drives people nuts. But anyways, I'm going to use my own jalapenos, maybe. But these are not jalapenos. This is a bag of snap peas. I love to saute them with butter and garlic. Really what you need to do if you want to saute snap peas, there's 2 things, like at least snip the ends. Like, I never go through the effort to pull out that string, which culinarily, like if you were French trained chef, you would pull out the little string. I don't do that. But at least snip the ends and then blanch them. So throw them in boiling water and then throw them in cold water. And then you can saute them, and they are fabulous. I love them. It's just the whole blanching thing is a bit more effort than I usually put into my vegetables. It's funny, I actually make really tasty vegetables in my opinion. But I use like the same 2 tricks over and over again because I'm kind of lazy. Roasting is your friend. That's all I can say. Speaking of vegetables and potentially roasting vegetables, here is a head of cauliflower. I do like to roast those in the oven. I also make the pizza casserole with it. And then more recently, I'm kind of weird. So when I make breakfast on the weekends, I always cook bacon. And then with some of the leftover bacon grease for myself, I'll fry up vegetables to serve myself with breakfast. Just to make it seem fuller, I guess. Because I like to feel like I've eaten something. And I've done a lot of different vegetables, but recently my favorite has been cauliflower. And my guy just doesn't understand it. He's like, bacon grease and cauliflower? And I'm like, yes. You add a bit of salt, it's fantastic. And I offer to let him try it. And he's like, that's not breakfast food. He's very picky about when you serve certain things. And I never make bacon cauliflower at night because I'm not making bacon. So, anyways. Next up, we have some Mexican four cheese, some Colby Jack cheese, and some salted butter. Tillamook is a nice quality brand, and I confess I probably should cost-wise downgrade to a lesser brand, but I enjoy my butter too much. You gotta get the good stuff. And with that, we are down to our final bag. This is the infamous freezer bag. Inside we have broccoli stir fry, Asian stir fry, and San Francisco blend. I only got 3 vegetables, frozen vegetables this time around. The main dish I used them for, I've kind of made a lot of it, so I'm kind of tempering down how many of those I pick up. And then some chimichangas. These are for my guy when I'm not in the mood to cook. Like, I'm content with leftovers or a salad or something, but for some reason chimichangas are a better meal than salad. I don't know. He's a weirdo. And then, last but not least, I have all my chicken here, which is frozen, because I threw this bag in the freezer last night. It's been so hot that I didn't want to like grocery shop and then do a video in the afternoon. So I grocery shopped at like 9 o'clock last night. I don't know, it was late. I don't normally shop that late. And boy, there's a definite difference in the type of crowd that's at the store that late at night. Overall, nicer people, actually. A lot of families who just happen to have rambunctious kids, but the parents are nice. But they buy, I don't know what it is about nighttime, but they buy like 2 whole carts of stuff all at once. And the lines just got super duper long. I think there was the same amount of cashiers, but each cart just had so much in it. So I don't know if I'll be doing that again, but it did help to have all of the food purchased before the video, right? It can be quite a task to do the shopping and the setup and you know, making myself presentable and doing all of the things on the same day. Kind of eats up a good half a day. It's crazy. But anyways, now that we've gone through all the groceries, of course the last thing I try to do is not only kind of quiet down my voice a bit. I'm pretty sure I got a little loud this time. But also, we've got to do some shout outs, right? So, let's see here. Shout out to Lisa Buttermore. This is a new commenter. So, hello, Lisa. And then Kate's Ismail, I think is how it's pronounced. A bit more of a regular, but thank you for commenting. And let's do Emma Richmond, and Amanda Friedman. There's definitely a lot more people that I could thank and whatnot for commenting. You guys are wonderful, and I would not be doing this if I didn't have so many supportive, friendly people who want to interact with me. That's amazing. It really is. So thank you guys for watching or listening and commenting, or even if you're lurking in the background, just boosting my numbers. That's still good. It's still a confidence boost for me, right? So anyways, thank you for spending this time with me. I will try to do a July video, but I make no promises. I really don't. But we'll see. You never know how the world will shift itself, right? So until next time, have a wonderful night. Bye bye.